For the vineyards in this region, we have what's called vine mealybug, and that has become pest number one. I would recommend Sutera to other growers, and I would say that Sutera has become the backbone of a program in the fight against the vine mealybug.
Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with American Vineyard Magazine, reporting to you from Fresno State Grape Day. I'm here with Kristy Sun from the Department of Viticulture and Enology here. I wanted to talk about what your presentation today was about utilizing winery wastewater and putting it back into the vineyard, right? Obviously, there's some challenges and there's reasons why people don't do that right now is because of all the additional salts and other things that come with it could be detrimental to the vineyard. And so historically, or what others are doing is they're treating it, right, for use and other purposes that are appropriate, maybe for growing cover crops or whatnot. But tell us about your project and what you're finding.
Sure, it's my pleasure. So I have several research projects going on. The biggest one is using cover crop to mitigate the negative effect of winery wastewater application. The key issue in our San Joaquin Valley is shortage of water, because of low precipitation during the summertime and also climate change. And many farmers really rely on the groundwater to meet the water supply. But the bigger problem is it will damage the whole sustainability in the long term. And also, I want to mention every year in California, all the winery generate huge tons of wastewater. About 10 billion tons of wastewater generate every year. So that's a big number. How can we utilize this wastewater, right? Actually, some winery is starting to use this winery water to irrigate their vineyards. But the bigger problem is this winery wastewater contain a lot of organic matter and also sodium, potassium from the winemaking process. So this element is not good for our vine and also grape and wine quality. So my project is to try to use in different cover crop to mitigate the negative effect of the winery wastewater application on our vineyard. So there are so many different cover crop. How can we choose them, right? So in our study, we choose 6 different cover crop based on their resistance to the salinity. This is a 3-year study. We already finished our first year data. It is pretty promising. A couple of different cover crop like ryegrass and trichili, they significantly absorb the sodium from the soil. And we are very excited about our project. So we'll keep doing the coming 2 years. We'll keep you updated.
So yeah, we've got a couple of those crops that are uptaking the salts and things that we really don't need in the vineyard, right?
Exactly.
That'll hurt the vines. And then you're harvesting it and taking it removing it from the vineyard, right?
Yeah, so we also harvest all these 6 cover crop and sell this cover crop. So actually winery earns additional revenue. So that's very good for them. So they are very happy to see the result from this study. Yeah.
So you can actually make money, but it's a lot of work that you're putting in as well. So that's the kind of economic feasibility of that is something that's going to have to play out in the future too. But nonetheless, that's something if a grower, even without throwing the wastewater, the winery wastewater into the vineyard, growers that are dealing with salinity issues can utilize some of these cover crops that you're talking about that are uptaking it in a form of a natural treatment process of the water, rather than the wineries having to invest in treating the water so that it could be used for other purposes. I think this sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you use different treatment for your wastewater, it's very, very expensive. So that's why a lot of winery is hesitate to do that. If we can find some less expensive and sustainable way to help the winery and the vineyard, that will be very great.
Well, hey, we really appreciate the work you're doing and look forward to the coming year's results. Read more about these things in American Vineyard Magazine. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.